Art students, Brian Proctor back again with part 4 of Let's Make a Comic Book Together. And this one is on perspective. Now, I had this idea, it won't get any more simpler than this, on how to do perspective or how to teach you perspective. So, yeah, this one, if you can't get this one, then you just go get a job at McDonald's or something. All right, so let's get into this perspective drawing, and then let's start drawing. All right, so let's talk about perspective. Perspective is number 4 or 5 in importance. I think maybe 5. First of all, you need your story, you need your character, you need your background, you need to draw anatomy, of course, which is your character, and then you need perspective. After those 3, you pretty much got it. Then you worry about things like shading and lighting and shadows and inking and stuff. But these are the important things. So I had this, it just came to me not too long ago. So I said, let me try to put this down where people can understand how to do perspective, because there's so many videos and books on perspective, and I'm trying to explain it the easiest way I can. Let's just say you have your room. This is a back wall. This is another wall, this is your ceiling, it's your other wall. So here's your door right here. Let's just say here's your door. You come into this room, right? So this is you. This is you. You just came into the room. Can you see you? That's you. You just came into the room. In this room, so, okay, you came into this room. This is what you see. This is your eye line right there. This is exactly what you, without looking up, without looking down, this is going to be your eye line. So no matter where you are in this room, that's your eye line. If you don't move, if you don't do whatever. So if you don't bend down, you don't look up, you don't look down. This is your eye line, okay? So in this room is a box. It's a big old box, right? It's a big old box. So if you stand right here, right in front of this box, you're looking straight above this box. This is you. You're going to see this box like this. That's how you're going to see this box, because you're standing here. Let's do this in some color. Box is red, you're black. That's how you're going to see that box. Because you're standing over the top of the box, you can see the top of the box right here. Your head is higher than that box. Now, if that box floated up in the air from right here, that box will look like this. It's a magic box. You'll see the bottom of that box because it's above your head, which is above your eye line. Now, if you walked over here and looked at that box, you walked over here, this box is not moved, it's back on the ground. And you looked at that box is going to look like this. Come on, Brian, get it right. They're depending on you. Because you now stepped over, so now you're seeing the opposite side. So anything, any square, anytime a square, if you're not standing in front of that square and you are seeing 3 sides, you see one side, you see 2 sides. You see the front and the top here, and the front and the bottom there. Now anytime you move over to the side and you're looking at this box from here and you see 3 sides, you're going to have to bring these 2 corner lines to your eye line, like this. That is the start of drawing perspective. That is the easy way to do a box. If you step to the other side, you'll see the same thing. It's just reversed. But they have to go to your initial eye line, unless you got on your knees or something. If you got on your knees and looked at this box, if you're like here on your, well, let's just put it this way. If you looked at the knees and it's straight on, all you're going to see is this. That's all you're going to see of that box. Now, anytime you move, you're going to see another side of that box. If you're above that box, as I say, you're going to have to, you do this triangle. This corner here, like that. So this line is going to establish everywhere It's going to establish where how your furniture is going to be drawn. So when this line here goes to this point, it's called your vanishing point. And so when this one, here's your other vanishing point. And a lot of times, especially in comic books, you have panels. Your panel is like this. This is your 11 by 17 page. You have a panel, 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 panel here. So you're going to do a room, and this is going to be, let's say this is my bed in that room here. So my eye line is here. This is going to have to come way off of that page. And this one is going to have to come way off of that page too. So a lot of times, artists will do that. They'll take their original page here, they're drawing. They'll take a page to the side, just one sheet of page to the side, one on the other side, and then they'll just draw that line. They tape it. A lot of people will tape it down so it won't move. Then they'll draw their eye line all the way across these 3 pages. Not like dark, because you're going to have to erase that, but they keep it here, and they have their line here. That way they can bring it in to the panel page and then get it right. So same thing with this. Okay, now you got that. Anytime you shift your body to the side of something, if you see it just from the front, this is what you're going to look like. It's going to have that 1 point perspective like that. That means your sidelines are going to come to 1 point. This point, actually the point is the point. That's the point where these 2 lines come together. Same thing here. If it goes down, it has to come to the point. So wherever these 2 lines converge, that's where your point is going to be at. That's where your eye line is going to be at. Whatever that point is, you don't have to have everything coming off of 1 point. If I drew another box here, down here, there could be this point to, how did I do that? To like this point way out here. So you can have multiple points. You don't want to go crazy, but that's like if you did a warehouse with boxes all over the floor. Other than that, you want to try to keep stuff neat. So if this box was in the air and it was shifted over, same way. If you moved over, or if that box rotated a little bit, then it would be the same thing. These sidelines, you have to come to that point. Same thing for here. These 3 would have to come down and meet at that same point, which is probably like way out here somewhere off the page. That way, all your stuff stays the same, or it's neat. When somebody looks at your drawing, they'll say, "Oh, they won't say, oh, this is messed up. Oh, this is twisted. That box is floating, or that chair is off." So anything you draw, well, most stuff that you draw is going to be either square, or should I say a cube, a rectangle, or a cylinder. If you look in your room, or if you look around in your room, you're going to see those are the defining shapes: the square and the cylinder. You might have a few circles, but they're going to be small, like your clock on the wall or your wheels on your chair, and your triangles. I don't really see too many triangles in houses today, but you must master the square and the cylinder shapes so that you can draw. Because, and here's an example. When you look at anything, look at a room, look at your room, you have, this rectangle, box, rectangle, 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 rectangle. So once you master that, okay, so here's a circle, here's a circle, here's a circle. This is just little things, this little wheel here, this little flywheel, or whatever it is, little circle, little circle. But you won't see circles. You might see a circle on a chair if it has a rolling chair. Other than that, you're dealing with this. I think this, I don't know if that's square or cylinder, but just say that could be a cylinder right there. That could be a cylinder right there, which is basically, if you're not seeing the top, it's still a square. And when you start to see the top, then it becomes more of a cylinder. So you must master that square. I tell people that in my videos all the time. Look at this. This is the same thing. It's the same thing. Now, as I said in the last video, when you get these little flyer things in your mail, don't throw them away, because these things are just invaluable. Invaluable, because You're going to need to know what a bedroom looks like. You're going to need to know what a living room looks like for your character. If your character has a house, lives in a house, what does a living room look like? And it's already set up in perspective for you to be able to draw. Now, let me show you. This is another one. I just picked this up. I probably don't need it. Badcock. You know, washers and dryers. Hey, guy got to wash his clothes. What does that look like? Entertainment centers. Who doesn't sit around and look at TV? What is this? Square. Square, 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 rectangle, rectangle, square, 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 big fat square. The whole thing is a square. You see what I'm saying? Fireplace, square, rectangle, rectangle, square, square with a little half an arch right there, square. Everything in life just about is square. So you need to master that thing. I can't say it enough. Chair, look at this little chair. Square, you know, you got a little, okay, this could be round. This is oval. This could be a little oval here, but still square, leaning back, square, a little rectangle here, square on the side. So master that. Another good thing about these kind of flyers are you can learn perspective. Let me find one good one. Okay, this is kind of like 1-point perspective. Let's fold it this way. The way that you can find perspective in something, and I would suggest if you have free time, get some of these and just draw what you see. Draw what you see. Now, the way that you find a perspective is see, this is straight on. This is what I'm saying about the box. If you were standing right here, if you were standing right here, this is what you would see in that bed right there. You would see that bed because this is straight. You don't see any sides. So you're leaning right, you're looking right at it. You're tired, you're about to go to bed, you're looking at it, you say, man, this is a beautiful bed. I don't want to mess it up. But anything that you see the side to, follow that line, follow that line, follow that line. The same thing here, follow that line. These lines will all go to a point. If you take a ruler, where's a ruler? Here's a ruler. If you take a ruler and you put it on like this line here, this top of this thing here, and you draw that line. You put it on this back one here and you draw that line. It will come to a point. That is your eye line. Your eye line is that. I almost had it right. I almost had it right by just drawing this guy here. That's your eye line. So everything else will fall on that. Well, this one is, yeah, if it goes way back like that, it'll fall on it too. So this is what I'm saying. These are great tools for learning how to draw. So let's just use this one because this is white. Here's this dresser right here. This dresser is, you see the top of the dresser here? This dresser is going back here. There's no back line. I hate that because there's no back line to it. So this dresser is going back here. This one, I think this one is going back as well. I can't see that because you can't really see the top. And this one is going back as well. So somewhere it's going to converge probably about right here. This is the eye. This is your eye line. So once you get that, you do a straight line. This might not be straight, but anything above that, you'll start to see the top. Anything below that, anything below that, you'll see the top. Anything above that, you'll see the bottom of it. So yeah, it's like, look at these tables, the cabinet, the tables, they all go back in proportion. Let me lift this up. I know these are dark pictures, but this is how you find your vanishing point in any type of situation. Wow, I did that one wrong. This is going to be way, 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 way back because where's the table? It's kind of like this. So it's going to be way out here somewhere. And you have the dresser going the same way. You have this going the same way. You have this other shelf would probably be starting to come down like that. So this is going to go like way out. And then the chairs. So let's say, because I can't see the top of this shelf, I'm going to say my eye line is right there because remember, if when in that box, where's that box? If you kneel down, here's your box. If you kneel down to your head was like right here, and you just saw this, you didn't see the top of the box. So basically, if it was like this, and you won't see the top of the box. Anything above that, this is your eye line because you can't see the top of it. And if you stood up, you see the top of it. So I was getting somewhere, but I lost it. Where was I? Where was the white dress of this? I'm saying this is probably your eye line right here because you cannot see the top of that and you cannot see the bottom of that. So I'm assuming this is your eye line. So anything above this, if this was a better picture, you would start seeing the bottom of this, because it would go more like this. And this is a little hard to do, more of like a hardcore. You would see the bottom of that shelf. And if you had another one, it would go more like this. This is like that. So these shelves would come down, and you can keep going as high as you want until you see the actual bottom. So this one, you would start seeing some of that like that. And then if you had another one, you would see even more of the shelf. I don't know if you can see that because that's freaking dark. But you understand. Follow the two lines. Keep these little books. Anything with furniture in it, follow your 2 lines. They may be way off somewhere. I can't see that. That is kind of hard. I mean, they may be way off the page, way off the page somewhere. But wherever they converge, that is going to be your eye line. So remember, anything below that, you're seeing the top. Anything above that, you're seeing the bottom. Master that skill. Master that skill, and then you will be kicking out more drawings than you can imagine. If you can't draw the figure good, draw your background well. If you can't draw your background well, draw your figure to where it just cure cancer. When somebody look at that, they be like, dang, that is tight. Even though you might have a table here and your glass is sitting way up in the air somewhere, if your character is just like that tight and just the muscles are right and he's ripped and you got detail on, he's got a tight little lightsaber or whatever in his hand and that belt with the gear on the belt and his boots are just tight to death, then they will excuse your sorry background. Your door could be like here and it could be like crooked. But they'd be like, okay, well, maybe they just built a crooked door in their house, but this guy is just tight. Look at that. The muscles just rippling. You know, the glutes are just tight. Look at the striations in his behind. So, yeah, just work on that, because I say majority of stuff is a square. Majority of stuff is going to be a square, and you learn to do that. And it's simple. It's just simple. If it's turned to the side like this, if you're seeing 3 sides of it, and the top of it, you're standing above it. So follow these 2 lines until they get to wherever your eye line is. Or yeah, you're gonna have to establish where your eye line is first on that one. And the same thing, establish where your eye line is. You got your box. So from there, I could do this. If if I had a square, and I was about to eat lunch, but this came to me. If I had a square and I did this, now I have a table. I just chopped this out, so now I have a table. So with this table, I can put my dishes on there. You got to get your circles right, though. It's going to be wrong. And you put my glass up here like that. And then if I wanted to put a chair, same thing. Here we go. It's just a square. This goes here. This goes to this point, that point. Then I could do this, and then this goes back here. That goes back to that point. And it's not going to be on the same point now. Here's my chair, and then here's my leg. So if I wanted to thicken that chair up, like that, you know, and if I did a chair that is not on perspective, I could do, let's just say this chair was turned out a little bit. This is kind of weird because it's too close. Let's just like this. So this chair could be off angle, but as long as you have everything going back to that same point, it will actually fit in the picture. So this chair is like lined up with this edge is lined up with this edge, but this edge is on its own, but because it's going to a separate point, whereas this one's going to this vanishing point and this one's going to that vanishing point. This one is different because everybody doesn't have a room where every chair and everything is neat together. So it's just easy to do. You just have to learn it. That's all. You learn it and you'll see a little bit of it like that. So another quick video for you guys. You got to learn perspective. Comic books is a job. As I say, comic books is a second job. If you have a first job and you start to decide you want to do comic books, that's a whole second job. If you don't have any job and you decide to do comic books, you have to work hard, because if you have to make that money for yourself. You're going to have to spend money on comics before you can make money, because as I was saying in the other book, a good penciler probably is going to start out at, if he's your friend, he might be nice. He might like $35 a page, but a good penciler is going to probably start out at $50 to $75 per page for drawing. You know, then you have your inker who's going to charge probably the same $35, $50 per page. So it's best to learn everything that you can so that you don't have to pay as much money on stuff that, you know, you can do. Learn it. You know, I'm here for you. Email me if you want to, you know, if you're having a hard time with something, and I'll probably try to do a special video on that particular thing to kind of help you out. But as I said in the last video, I cannot do your drawings for you. I can't, you know, your thumbnails, your other stuff. I'm too busy. I'm swamped myself. Unless you're going to pay crazy big money, big enough for me to just put my characters to the side, or put my books to the side and say, oh, okay, I'm not going to do these. I'm going to get paid like $1,000 a page. Yeah, other than that, no, I can't really help you. So study your perspective. It's really simple. Go get a basic perspective book. Go back and look at some of my videos on perspective. I teach that, but I don't think I taught it in this simple of a way. And if I can think of a simpler way to teach it, I'll do that later. So yeah, it's important. It's important. Your character is going to be in some kind of room, whether he be in a spaceship or is in a closet or a jail. He's going to be in some room, and that room is going to have furniture, and you need to put that furniture right. Yeah, that was a mouthful. So where's my pen? I've thrown my pen and thrown in the towel. That's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next video.